Hello, this is Michael Wojcik with your City Council update for May 3rd, 2010. I'd like to tell you there was a lot of exciting stuff at the City Council meeting. It was not the case. There just wasn't much on there. So rather than waste your time with 10 minutes of inane rambling, I thought I'd actually share some stuff with you. Been a lot of people out there who seem to have always thought that I was running for some other office, or had the intention of running for a different office. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and there are also some people claim that I have an agenda. I want you to know that in fact that is absolutely true. I do in fact have an agenda, and I'm going to use this opportunity to share it with you a little bit. First of all, in the speculation that I'm running for some other office, absolutely not. I think that the City Council is where I can best serve people right now. I think that there are a lot of things that need to be done at the City Council, and I'm going to continue to focus on that. For those people who continue to speculate that I must be, nobody would say the things that I was saying unless I was running for some other office. I am saying those things that I'm saying, and I'm planning on staying right where I am. So I sat down with some friends, some people that I trust, talking about things that what are some doable goals that can be done in 2010, given the status that I'm not in a strong position on the City Council in terms of those that share my beliefs, but there are some things I've been able to get done. I mean, complete streets last year I think was something that was particularly something I'm proud of. So I came up with a list of 13 items, and then reviewing it with my friends it turned into 15, and that's what I'm going to go through right now is the 15 things that I want to get done in 2010. Some of them are personal, some of them have to do with the community, some of them are starting a longer term process. First, those things that I can do better. First and foremost, number one, I want to better communicate with the citizens of Ward 2, more website entries, more door knocks, and just try and get out to the neighborhood meetings as much as possible. In some cases, actually organize neighborhood associations where they don't exist. Item number two is I want to gain the support of a core group of advisors. There's about 5 or 6 people that I rely on pretty heavily to give me some feedback, let me know how some things are going. It's always hard when you're in a position like this to find people that will give it to you straight, because they're there's a little bit of a hesitancy to tell a city councilman exactly what's on your mind, although I think it's kind of ridiculous. I don't hold grudges in that way. But finding people that are honest with you is something that's very good, and I think that there are a core group of people that I do lean on and give me some advice, give me a second opinion when I'm considering something. A third thing, we really need to work better with other levels of government, in particular the county. The city-county relationship is relatively unique, but a lot of people kind of forget that we have a school board here as well. And this is something that needs to start at the individual level. We need to build those relationships between the city and the county. That's something that I've been working on since I got into office. I think there are some wonderful people in the county. I have a strong background with the county, and I think that the school district is in a position where there are just some things that we have to start working on together. The state has fallen apart as being a responsible partner for local governments, and I think that we need to lean on each other as much as possible to leverage our strengths and our very limited resources. Fourth item, I absolutely want to organize Country Club Manor area. Now, there's a bunch of neighborhoods out there. Everyone kind of refers to it all as being Country Club Manor, but I think there's something like 2,300 residential units out there, so it's a huge area. We just did a massive tree planting out there. It was really a wonderful experience. I got to talk with a lot of people who I hadn't talked with since I ran. But when you represent 19,000 people, it's hard to go out and talk with them all. So what I tried to do is go to their meetings, but in this case they don't really have neighborhood meetings out there, and that's something I'm going to seek to change. And on May 25th we're going to do our first organizing meeting out there with the help of Renee from our neighbors. Items that are very doable for getting done this year. I want to get going on some West 2nd Street planning. That's 2nd Street, which is technically still a county road from Highway 52 out to West Circle Drive. It is in critical need of repair. We could probably do a mill and overlay, but I think that would be a tremendous disservice. I'd rather redo it right, make it safer for pedestrians. Right now you've got folks in that senior complex that have to cross 7 lanes of asphalt with no safe crossings. We've got a wonderful new park going in on the north side where all the people that live on the south side aren't going to have safe access to it. We need to do 2nd Street and do it right. The property values there are going to justify very high density mixed-use type of development, and we need to take advantage of that. And I think it's going to be a win-win for the folks that own property in that area, folks that own businesses there, and some of the neighborhoods that could really use some revitalization in that neighborhood as well. Sixth item that I'd like to talk to you about is a tree ordinance. This is about 20 years overdue. Hopefully that's going to be coming forward to the City Council relatively quickly. Basically, initially we'd be looking at new development where we're going to put boulevard street trees in. It's not just about trees being pretty, it's about the fact that if we shade our asphalt, we get longer life of the asphalt, with the potential of saving taxpayers millions of dollars. Trees aren't just pretty, they actually play a pretty important role in terms of infrastructure. If you're somebody with asthma, you should know that trees will knock down those PM2 and PM10 particles, which are so difficult for people with asthma. Some people say they don't want trees, and they may not want them, but if people don't want sidewalks or if they don't want city sewer, we say tough. That's the guidelines we have in this community. I think that's what we have to do with street trees as well. Item number 7, I think that we in Rochester are getting absolutely gouged with broadband, and I want to request that RPU look into providing citywide broadband, probably through some sort of a wireless technology. This is important both for our citizens, who I think we can honestly deliver broadband access at less than $20 per month without being a hostage to a bundle. I think we need to focus, my 8th item, we need to focus on high quality workforce housing with integrated ownership. We know what happens when you build a complex that is nothing but poor people. It concentrates poverty, and that's how we get ghettos, and we've seen it fail time and time again. I think Washington Village is the most recent example of something that's just not working out the way that it had been intended. We need to make sure when new projects come forward, like the Cascade Creek, which is going to meet all this criteria, you have to have mixed income, you have to have some ownership integrated, because those people aren't going to let the project fall to the wayside. You need mixed uses, and you need a high quality design and a walkable, transit oriented area. When we stick poor people out in the middle of a cornfield somewhere, all we've done is we made them slaves to the automobile and done everything in our power to keep them poor for the rest of their lives. Those areas tend to deteriorate, and that's not what we should be doing as a city. We know how to do it right. Now it's just a matter of them actually having the courage to stand up to some of these people who railroad through their projects and say, no, it's not going to happen anymore. We need to do quality projects. Item number 9, I think it's a long time that we end any policies within the city that promote discrimination towards any of our employees, and I think that a domestic partner ordinance is in order, and I think that's something that hopefully will be coming up very quickly. Number 10, one of the ones I'm passionate about, pedestrian and cyclist safety. Just today I was just about hit by a Schwann's truck. Yes, and it's not the first time with the Schwann's truck, but I know a number of people have the same kind of experience. This is a guy that just blew through a green light, turned left, right in front of me. There's just something has to be done to make cyclists more visible and more safe in this community. There are a number of places that you just can't make a safe connection right now, and that has got to stop. Item number 11, this is a long-term goal, but we made some progress already this year, is that I want to address some shortcomings at the Convention and Visitors Bureau. The bottom line is I don't think when we're furloughing police officers that salaries going up there 250% over the course of 7 years is anything remotely acceptable. Now, I raised a pretty big stink out this, and I appreciate you, the citizens out there, strongly having it back. I mean, outside of the hotel owners, there wasn't anybody, well, the hotel owners and the people that worked for the Convention and Visitors Bureau, nobody thought what was going on was in any way acceptable. The fact that they just were blatantly ignoring the contracts that they had. Now, they have an important role to fill in the community, but they are a part of the community. Bottom line is we're subsidizing them to the tune of $1.5 million. They need to make it work for us. We need to address vehicle mile travel growth issues. Continues to be a huge concern for the city of Rochester, and our planning and zoning right now will not have the tools in play to address this. VMT, by the way, is vehicle miles traveled. It's the number one thing we do and send money all the United States. We need to come up with some good policies for core zoning and light. This is my 13th item now. Core zoning, an idiot can build a suburban strip mall. Doing zoning, doing a building in the core is difficult, and we need policies that reward people for doing good things and disallow some of the foolish things we do in the core of the city. My 14th item, we need to move RPU closer towards real-time pricing and give feedback to consumers. The bottom line is it's fundamentally unfair. The Rama water closes at 3 o'clock in the morning when energy is plentiful and cheap. Should be paying as same amount as Super Target or some no skylights lighting up their interior on a hot summer day to eyeball scorching levels while running air conditioners with the front door open. It's foolish to charge people what it really costs to produce them energy. Then we'll take care of it at that point.
And finally, the 15th item, we can some steps with the Energy Commission. We need a citywide energy baseline and plan because we can't begin to conserve energy and to know how much we're consuming. So there's my insidious agenda for 2010. I want your feedback.